Hello, it's Kazina again. Sorry about that. I am so going to invest in some rechargeable batteries. It's ridiculous. My camera just eats the batteries, and it doesn't look great, does it? That just happened with another one of my videos I did, and it kind of went whoop halfway through. So and I don't know how to edit stuff and put it all in one, so sorry about that. Anyway, I was just talking about my pickups, and I was just saying about Lord of the Rings, how you know, it's good for a bit of mindless hack and slash. The next game I picked up is Def Jam Vendetta. It's all right. Actually, I think it's quite, I have played this before on the PlayStation 2, and I like fighters. I do. I love fighters, but I have to say I find this quite difficult. But it's got quite, you know, I do like the fact that there's sort of Def Jam music and artists that are in it, and it's got a nice soundtrack. That's what I'm trying to say. It's got a good soundtrack to it, and it's kind of got this great urban feel. So maybe I shall try this again, but I did find it quite difficult. I don't know what anyone else thinks. Maybe I'm just rubbish at it. I picked up Tony Hawk's Underground 2, which I haven't played yet. I had played Tony Hawk's other one. I can't remember. There's so many Tony Hawks, isn't there? I can't remember which one it was I've played, but I quite enjoyed it. And I'm not great at it, to be quite honest, but I do like this type of game. I like these kind of I like sort of skiing games, snowboardy games, BMXy things. So anything like this I always like to give a go. So that was Tony Hawk's. And the last of the 5 for £5 was Space Channel 5 for the PS2. I was delighted to pick this up, and you know what? Honestly, I don't know how I didn't know this, because I always professed to be a great fan of Space Channel, and I've got it on the Dreamcast, and I'm really embarrassed to admit I didn't even realise this was out on the PS2. What a dope. So when I saw this I was like, oh wow. So there you go, you learn something new every day, and I believe part 2's on the PS2 as well, so yeah, I've got that, yay. And then the next few games I picked up in CEX. I picked up an Xbox 360 game, and it was £2.50, and it's Alone in the Dark. I know yeah, it's not got great reviews, and I did quite like the original one on the PlayStation 1, although I thought it was bloody hard. I have played this a bit, but I must admit I didn't get very far. I got about as far as trying to grapple down the wall, which is probably about 5 minutes into it, and I kept pressing the A button to jump, and I must have died about the B button, and I must have died about 10 times, and I just got the ump, and then I looked at the manual, and I should have been pressing the X button, but there's an awful lot of controls in this game. It looks okay, and I will give it another go, definitely. And I mean, it's not bad for an Xbox 360 game, £2.50. So I think this is one sort of game though where you do have to peek at the manual first, because I'm a bugger for that. I don't actually read the manual. I usually put the game in and play it, and then if I get stuck I look at the manual. But this is one where you've kind of got to look back at the manual, I think. Or maybe again I'm just rubbish at it. And the next game I picked up, now for some reason I've had a hankering to play a basketball game, a decent basketball game. Now don't ask me why, because the last basketball game I played was on the Amiga. It was called Double Dribble, so that shows you how long ago that was. But for some reason I've just had a mad hankering to play a basketball game, so I picked up a couple, and I didn't pay hardly anything for them. I picked up this one called NBA Jam, and it was only £1 on the PS2, and I played this actually last night for a while, excuse me. And you know what, I really enjoyed this. It's got very responsive controls. It's quite fun. I think it's got more of an arcadey feel to this. It's not like a proper basketball sim, you know. It's got special hot shots and that, although I didn't quite work out how to pull them off, to be honest. But I mean, the first game I played, I think I lost 71 to 82, which I didn't think was too bad, considering I haven't played a basketball game since Double Dribble. So I think that I could be victorious in this in the future. And for £1, I would actually recommend this. You know, if anybody's interested in a sort of a quick, fun basketball game, I would highly recommend that. It's got potential, I think. And I also picked up another one, NBA Hoops, and this only cost 50p, and I stuck this in after I stuck the old Jam one in, and I wasn't mad about this, to be honest. I only paid 50p, it's no loss. I think because the NBA Jam one plays very fast, it's very arcadey fast, this one seems really slow in comparison. Perhaps if I played this at another time it wouldn't have appeared so bad. I didn't like the graphics either. It's like they tried to make the characters in it look a bit digitalized. I don't know, it's like the graphics are good but they're not good, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't that mad about this, but I will give it another go, but definitely not after I played NBA Jam. I also picked up, how do you pronounce this, Deus Ex. Surprisingly, I don't own this game. I had got the Deus Ex Invisible for the Xbox, but I never had the original, and I only had about 10 minutes or so on this. I did a bit of training, and it's okay. It's very dated looking, but I know it's a classic, and I certainly will give it a bit more playtime, and I'd really like to pick up the new version on the Xbox 360, to be honest, but I have to make do with this for now. And the last game I picked up, and you'll probably go, why did you pick this up? But I have to say, I'm a funny one like this. I've got a thing about certain covers, you know, like if I find a cover on a game, you know, it's not that expensive and I find it attractive, or I like the graphics, or something about it tickles me, I tend to pick it up. And I picked this up for pure, I don't know, I just thought it looked so kitsch, naff. So I picked up a VIP for the PS2, or as they've got it on here or on theirs, it's a VIP. I picked up VIP because there's no full stop, it's just VIP, not V.I.P. So I picked up VIP for the PS2, and I mean, look at that cover. I mean, it's just so, it's so cheesy, it looks so trashy, and there's old Pammy on the back looking like she couldn't, you know, fight her way out of a paper bag. It cost me 80p, and I stuck this in, and do you know how it plays? It plays like it's quick time events. I didn't realise that. I thought, you know, it was going to just play badly, fighting and shooting, but it's actually, you've got to press the A button, and you've got to press the analog sticks left and forward and all that, and that's not too bad. But they try to, well, not try to, because this predates Heavy Rain by many a year, but it's kind of like in Heavy Rain you have to move the analog stick sort of in a sort of semicircular motion, and it works very well, but it doesn't work very well on this. But you know what's really funny in this? Quite early on in the game, you just you have to shoot your way into this building, and you're with this other woman who does the shooting, and Pamela Anderson is armed with a handbag and perfume, and she kicks somebody and she squirts them in the face with perfume and then hits them with her handbag, and it's hilarious. So just for that alone I thought it was worth 80p, but I wouldn't recommend anyone picking it up unless they've got that slightly warped sense of humour like I do. And I also picked up a little tiny teeny GameCube memory card. It's a 4 megabyte memory card, and it only cost me 50p. God knows why I don't use an SD card in my Wii, but there you go. But I just thought, let's get another. I just saw it in the shop and it was 50p, so I picked it up. And the last game I'm going to show you is that not actually something I bought, but something I found. As I've been up and down in the attic recently looking at comics and various things, but I was looking through some of the boxes up there the other day, and it was in a box with sewing stuff, so I don't know how it got in there, but I thought, oh God, I knew I had it. I wonder what happened to that. So this has been sitting up in the attic for about 2 years, and it's The World Ends With You on the DS. And I bought this when I lived in Ireland, and I can remember sticking it in for about an hour, and it never got played. And then I moved over here, and then it's been up in the attic ever since. And I know this is considered one of the, not the best games on the DS, but it's considered a really good game. So and I knew in the back of my mind, I knew I had this somewhere, and I thought, whoa, what's happened to it? So I found it. So there you go. So there's The World Ends With You on the DS. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my little video pickups, and I no doubt will do one in the near future, because I always seem to be picking up games. I can't help myself. And I shall leave you with a little confession. My confession is I love Glee. I can't help it. I'm a Gleeaholic. So I don't know why I shared that with you, and you're all going to go, oh my God, but there you go. So thanks for watching. Bye.